Today we're diving into one of the juiciest tennis gossip stories of the year. Emma Raducanu and Carlos Alcaraz were spotted together at the Cincinnati Open, and ever since, the internet has been in total meltdown mode. Now, here's the big question: were they just two tennis stars casually hanging out, or is there something a little more romantic brewing beneath the surface? I mean, come on. Fans didn't waste a second before pointing out just how comfortable the two of them looked together. Laughing, chatting, and maybe even a little bit of flirting during practice sessions. Is that really just colleague energy, or are we witnessing the birth of tennis's newest power couple? Social media certainly has its verdict. Twitter threads are breaking it down frame by frame. TikTok edits are making it look like the ultimate slow-burn romance. And Instagram? Completely flooded with side-by-side shots and theories. So, what's the truth here? Are we looking at the beginning of a headline-making relationship, or is this just another case of fans connecting dots that aren't really there? Well, let's break it all down and see what the clues really reveal. Think about it. On one side, you've got Emma Raducanu, the teenage superstar who stunned the entire tennis world back in 2021 when she won the US Open as a qualifier. A story so unbelievable that it instantly made her a global icon. On the other side, Carlos Alcaraz, the Spanish sensation already being hailed as the successor to Rafael Nadal, dominating the ATP Tour with his athleticism, charisma, and fearless play. Individually, they're both huge stars with massive followings. But together? Well, the headlines practically write themselves. A young British champion linked to a Spanish prodigy. That's the kind of story that crosses beyond the sports pages into mainstream culture. But before we get too carried away with shipping hashtags and fan edits, let's take a step back and actually break down the rumors, the so-called clues, and of course, what the fans are saying about Emma and Carlos. First, let's remind ourselves who we're talking about here. Carlos Alcaraz, still only in his early 20s, already a Grand Slam champion, and often compared to none other than Rafael Nadal. Not just for his Spanish roots, but also for his passion, intensity, and fighting spirit. He's known for that big, charming smile, his humble interviews, and the kind of athleticism that leaves crowds gasping. Every time he steps on court, it feels like you're watching the future of tennis unfold in real time. Then Emma Raducanu, the teenage superstar who made tennis history at the 2021 US Open by winning the tournament as a qualifier, something the sport had never seen before. Overnight, she went from being a promising young player to an international celebrity. Of course, the years since haven't been easy. Injuries, pressure, and sky-high expectations have slowed her progress. But her star power? Still undeniable. Emma is more than a player. She's a brand, an inspiration, and to many fans, the hope of British tennis. Put them together, and you've got two young athletes who, whether they're on or off the court, represent the very future of the sport. So, how exactly did the dating rumors start? Honestly, like many celebrity couple theories, it began with just a few small, innocent moments. Earlier this season, Emma and Carlos were spotted at a joint practice session. Cameras caught them laughing, sharing some jokes, and generally looking like they were enjoying each other's company. Of course, for most players, this wouldn't raise eyebrows, but when you're Emma Raducanu or Carlos Alcaraz, every little detail gets magnified. Then came social media. Fans noticed Emma liking a handful of Carlos' Instagram posts. No big deal, right? But things got interesting when Carlos returned the favor, dropping comments and even emojis on some of Emma's pictures. Suddenly, Twitter was alive with speculation. Emojis became secret signals, likes turned into hidden flirts, and before you knew it, the rumor mill was in full swing. But the real buzz came during the Cincinnati Open. Cameras caught Emma and Carlos sharing what looked like an inside joke before matches. It was a short clip, just a few seconds long, but it didn't take long for TikTok editors to slow it down, zoom in, and turn it into evidence. Fans couldn't stop replaying the smiles, the laughter, the body language. Others pointed out that they were spotted in the same player lounges, chatting together even when they didn't have matches scheduled near each other. That kind of casual time together raised more than a few eyebrows. And the biggest clue of all? Several fans claimed they saw Emma and Carlos leaving a practice session together, away from the cameras. Of course, there are no clear photos, just eyewitness accounts, but that was enough to add fuel to the already blazing fire. Now, before we all get swept up in the romance narrative, let's pause and remember, this could all just be friendship. Tennis is an incredibly demanding sport, and the younger generation of players often form tight-knit bonds. They travel the same circuits, practice in the same facilities, and support each other through ups and downs. Emma herself has spoken openly about how inspiring it was to watch Carlos rise through the ranks. Likewise, Carlos has praised Emma's US Open run as one of the most incredible stories in tennis. So is this just mutual admiration between two young stars? Professional respect dressed up by fans as something more? It's entirely possible. After all, not every smile equals romance, and not every Instagram like means love. But if you dive into Twitter or TikTok right now, you'll find no shortage of fan theories. Some are calling them the golden couple of tennis, comparing them to Federer and Mirka, or even Steffi Graf and Andre Agassi. Edits of their best moments together are already racking up millions of views. One fan even joked, "If this is real, tennis just became a Netflix rom-com." Of course, not everyone is buying into it. Plenty of fans believe it's overblown, just friendly banter being misread by a public desperate for a love story. As one commenter put it, Emma's just being Emma, Carlos is just being Carlos. People need to chill. Still, the fact that the conversation is even happening shows just how invested fans are in the idea. Sports fans love a good narrative, and a young romance between two stars? That's storytelling gold. And here's something to think about. Why do stories like this gain so much traction? Well, part of it is that tennis has a history of iconic relationships. From Andre Agassi and Steffi Graf to Gael Monfils and Elina Svitolina, fans have always loved seeing romance bloom on the tour. Combine that with the fact that both Emma and Carlos are young, charismatic, and constantly in the spotlight, and you've got the perfect storm for speculation. Even if nothing is happening behind the scenes, the idea of a romance is enough to capture imaginations worldwide. And let's be real, the media and fans thrive on these kinds of stories. They humanize players, turn them into more than just athletes, and create drama that keeps people engaged beyond the matches themselves. So, are Carlos Alcaraz and Emma Raducanu secretly dating? The truth is, we really don't know. Neither Emma nor Carlos has confirmed or denied the rumors. For now, they're both focused on their careers, their training, and their goals on the court. But one thing is crystal clear: whenever these two share a smile, exchange a word, or even just interact on social media, fans are watching. Every little clue gets dissected, debated, and turned into a theory. Whether it's genuine friendship, professional respect, or the beginnings of something more, Emma and Carlos have the world talking. And that, in itself, shows just how magnetic their presence is. But what do you think? Is this just a friendship being blown out of proportion by fans desperate for a love story? Or are we really witnessing the rise of tennis's next power couple? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love stories like this, tennis rumors, updates, behind-the-scenes moments, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos. Until next time, keep your eyes not just on the court, but off it too, because sometimes the real drama is happening where the cameras aren't.